Just trying to get set up, guys. Good afternoon, DJ Styles here at Custom Corpses. Okay, we are going to re-sculpt this ear today. I'm live now. My mother-in-law wants to watch how I do this. So she's in the room with me, and if she does speak out a little bit, that's okay. So just so you know who else is in the room with me. So here we go, guys. I'm set up pretty much. And the first thing I got to do is soften this clay a little. All right. All right, you got that seat. You can bring it over a little bit. Just don't hit the camera stand. Gotta make sure I'm live. Hold on. Yep, we're live. And the other thing I want to do is I want to put the camera. I'm going to go to YouTube here so I can see what people are posting. No way. Getting set up, guys. Just bear with me. Just trying to get set up, guys. Crusher, you're on with me, right? Your Custom Corpses. All right, I gotta kill this. Okay, we are going to re-sculpt. Kill the noise. Crusher, you're up, right, buddy? You're with me? Oh, two people. Okay. Say hello. I have you on my big screen monitor, so I'll be able to read your comments. Hopefully I can see them from where I'm going to be sitting. Right there, my magic chair. All right. I see two people on right now, and I'm getting ready to start working on the ear. I'm going to fix this ear on this sculpture. So give me a second. I got to get into position. Oof, man, I just can't wait. I got a plan for this room. I'm going to be emptying out the shelves to my right, or actually my left, your right. But I just knocked the camera. Give me a second here. I'm going to make sure I'm in. Okay, we're still on the spot. Just trying to get. My mother-in-law wants to watch me do this, so she's kind of sitting where the camera normally is. But that's okay. We're going to get this damn thing done. I got the lighting on. Should be good. Yeah, good. You know what? Because I can see all the shadows. Now, this is a heat gun. It's not a hair dryer. It's a heat gun. Now, I'm going to be shooting this to soften this area. Probably a good, I'm going to say 2 feet away from it. I'm probably out of range, but I'm going to warm this up so it's easy to work. If I can hold my hand on it, that's perfect. I'm about 2 feet away from this. I'm softening that clay just so it's a little easier to work with with your hands. I have my master copy over here to the left of me, or my right. What's going on today? I can't figure out right and left. But it's time to fix the ear. I've got my little clump of clay here that I work with. I'll soften that with my hand. As a matter of fact, I'll keep that in my hand and that'll get real soft from my body heat. Yeah, this is a wax-based clay, guys. It's not oil and it's not water. It's wax. It's monster clay, and it's a very hard clay, which I like because then I can always salvage my work. So I never destroy the main sculpture any more than damaging the ears, you know, a little bit of the mouth, the chin, the nose, and the eyes get a little damaged, but not a lot of damage, just enough to if you have any comments, guys, just throw it on there. I'm going to start painting in the next 2 days. Today it's raining out there, so it's like the paint will never dry. It's real damp. It's getting ready to rain anyway. So let me see how. Ooh, yeah, that's done. Okay, I went a little too long for that. I'm gonna let that harden up just a little bit. I'm gonna let that harden up a little bit because it's just a little too soft. And I should have been touching it while I've been doing it. Okay, so that won't take too long. All right, let's see if I can get more comfortable here. Need to get closer. And I gotta be able to take my glasses off because I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm gonna put my master copy right here, and it looks like this is nice. Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna push this back out to where it was. I'm just shaping it right now. I'm not doing anything. I'm just bringing it back into what it was. I'm just trying to see where I was compared to where I am now. It's not that far off, believe me. You know, the damage looks more severe than it actually is. You know, everybody's, oh, how are you going to repair that? Well, that's the art of sculpting. You can always fix it. Now I'm just going to generalize. I'm generally getting the shape back to where it was, and then I'll start sticking the tools on it. And you'll see it's not that difficult. It'll start shaping up. It's already kind of shaping up now, don't you think? What do you think, Mom-in-law? Are we starting to look like it's like the old self? All right, so we need to. She's being quiet. She's being extra quiet. She knows she's on live TV. So we're just trying to bring in the shape to where it was. There's a hole right there. Okay. Well, I wish this stuff was a little softer. See, this raked, and it literally pulled some of that ear off, and it was, I remember pulling it out of the mold, so that's where the clay went. I ended up throwing it away. Yeah, this is kind of soft. Okay. No biggie. Trying to get it as smooth as I can with my fingers. You know, I'm real good with ears. And I know exactly what I'm looking for as far as where the depth is, and like in here, Like this blends right back into the face as you get into this area here. And the other thing I can see is I actually smooth this over a little bit better in here. I'm trying to bring it back to where the original ear was. Doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, this is also going to be the Halloween 2018, which this guy here, it's going to be turned into this. But I don't want it to go too far away from what the original sculpt was. I want to try and stay as close to the original sculpt as possible. So this way, I can see that this ear is bulging out just a little bit too much here. That's okay. We can work it back, smooth it in. See, the clay's nice and soft. It's hardened up enough now where I don't have to worry about it literally turning to putty in my fingers. All right, now see this area here, I'm just trying to smooth this out because this is where it raked, the ear hole raked out. Ooh, as a matter of fact. All right, we're going to fix this right now. We're going to leave the ear hole there. I don't want to put I call it the ear cleft that's right here. I don't want to cover this until I fix the area, because I want to make sure that the ear hole is round again. Yeah, this is pretty quick. This is not a real long tutorial on how to fix an ear. This is pretty simple. All right, I see a text there. Who is that? Is that Crusher? What you doing, Crush? To the H18. Okay. There's a big delay on this camera compared to what I'm seeing on YouTube. I mean, a huge delay. I don't know why it's so far back, but I just did answer that question. How am I going to do it? Very carefully and with tools. All kinds of yummy tools that I have to the right of me and to the left of me. But you're going to see, I want to make sure that the inside of this ear is smoothed out and into the face. And the extra smoothing I'll just do with tools again. All right. So this is kind of my I don't like this wrinkle in here. Very simple. Very simple. Now see, there's a little bit of a divot right in here. I'm just going to add a little clay to it. I don't like adding the clay too much when it's this soft. And I got to fix this in here. It's really rough. And that's all going to be done with tools too. It'll really start coming together real nice in a few minutes. It'll really, you'll start to, it's coming together now, believe it or not, but I see where I'm going with it, and you guys don't know where I'm going with it. That's the thing. It's not going to be too far. It's not going to be hard to fix. It's just going to be a really simple fix. Everybody thinks, oh my God, look at the damage on that ear. How are you going to fix that? Well, it's really not that hard. Really not that hard. I'm warming up a piece of crumbs of clay. That's what I call this. And I'm going to stick that right into this area where it's a little bit distorted. Yeah, see? Now the one thing is you have to blend your clay really good, because if you don't, you end up with all these little lines. And I got calluses on my fingers and my thumbs from working with this stuff. And what will end up happening is that the plaster will show that little seam. Now the other thing I got to do is not use that tool. Hold on. You see these little things of plaster that are still into. I'm going to get that plaster out of there. There's a little bit of plaster up inside the head here. Make sure you get all that out. And in the ear, there's some plaster. How it got in there that deep, I don't have no idea. That's okay, I gotta get it out of there. And then I can fix that. I'll smooth that over once all that plaster's out there. But I gotta see up in there and see what the heck I can. Huh, wow. Okay. Now, it's almost time for tools. But I can see there's a little bit of a divot there. I'm feeling the original sculpture is right over here to the right of me. It's actually the urethane copy of my master. It's the exact same size, and I'm just feeling what I did as far as shape goes. Oh wow, there was a big divot right in here. Okay, but I don't need it to be exact. I want it, this actually this will be improved just a little bit. Yeah, this will be improved a little bit better. Most of this is done by hand and by feel. The more you do it, the better you get. And let me take a look at a side angle of this earlobe, and it's sticking out too far, so I'm going to push that in and round that off. Love it when a plan comes together, don't we? Okay. I'm trying to just blend it into the face. I don't want any kind of any lines. I can smooth all this out when I push it into the face like that. You see, there's like these little tiny lines there. That's when I'll tool that. I'll tool that to fix that shape. What I'm doing there is I'm pushing out on this just a little bit in the back area to bulge this area out here a little bit. I'm pushing in the back of this. You know. All right, see, that worked perfect. Yep. And now I'm just trying to shape it. Now I'm going to carve once I find my right tool here. I've got spoon tools that I use too, so let me see. Looks like I'm missing some tools here. No, that's too big. Somebody's been into my tool chest here. Give me a second, guys. These are double-edged tools. All right, so we're going to go in here. I need the spoon. Well, I hope somebody's not been using my tools. I'm going to be really ticked if I'm missing tools. See, this got a little, it looks like a little spoon, all right? And all that does is just push that clay and blend that clay so you don't have those lines. That's not going to work there. Or should I use, I think I might use this. Yeah, that's working better. I always take my little ball of clay to clean my blades off. I just push it right into the clay. Just to round that out. Most of the smoothing work will come when I go to, oops, I don't want to create lines. When I use my brush and I start using the naphtha. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay. Now, I feel like I'm missing tools out of this thing. I mean, I had a whole bunch of tools in here, and now it's like they're all gone. I hope somebody I think might be robbing my tool bin. Yeah, I'm definitely missing tools out of this thing. This thing was stuffed full of tools. And they're not there now. Yeah, like this here. What the hell? I had a round one that was like this. A whole bunch of these. Getting a little angry, I can tell you that. Okay. All right, so let me put my thing back on here. A little plastic protector. There's the spear. And the funny thing is, I knew something wasn't right because I found tools in the wrong place. when I was looking at my tools. Let me see if I didn't put something over here by accident. No, it don't look like it. My shaping tools are, there's one. Can use this. No, I need the small one. Gotta get in here and smooth this out a little bit. Piece of hair in there or something. Get out of here. Yeah, see now the clay is hardening up again, so I don't have that. But I do need some light on the subject in different angles so I don't see any. So all these little ripples in here, if I didn't turn that head just the right way, I would have never seen them. And that means I need, I don't think this circumference is going to work. I had a smaller one. Where the hell did that go? Oh, just like that. Okay, this might work. See, I don't like these particular brand because it's not more, this is just, it kind of moves clay. It doesn't sculpt, it doesn't cut the clay. It doesn't have the sharp edges. Oh yeah, this, well, not bad, but it's not great. I like a sharper tool. You gotta remember, ears are very crooked and very, you know, they have, you know, they're very, they're not perfectly shaped by far, and you can get away with a lot. Ears are not that difficult. Noses can be brutal. Noses are tough because you cannot, you know, they're more exact. Yeah, it's definitely hardening up. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I need to throw a little bit more clay right where the ear hole is. And then what I'll do is I'll push a nice round hole in there again. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. And I still have to put the, what do you call it in here? I got to put the ear clef. I call it an ear clef because I don't know what it's called. Bottom line. And you'll see in a minute what I'm doing. But I got to blend this together. There we go. See, it's really not that difficult, guys. It really isn't. Ooh, don't want a square one. Want to be round. You know, I'm a tool guy because I used to work with wood. All right, and when I carved with wood, it was always with wood. I never did everything completely by hand. There's no way I can do anything completely by hand. Not and get it very accurate. I'm just taking all the little tiny, like, you know, imperfections out. Let me take a look at your comments. All right, Crusher, what you got to say, buddy? Let me see. I got to put my glasses on and try to. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming together pretty good. It is. It's coming together pretty good. I got to go behind this ear and make sure that there's nothing, you know, deformed back here. I'm trying to work just on the surface. And now, what I'm going to do is this hoop is almost the perfect diameter of my ear hole. All right. And what you do is you take it and you jab it in there on an angle about like that. All right. And then you just hone it out. You just twist it. All right. And I don't go too deep because I don't want to have that problem of. So I took a little bit of clay out of there. I didn't take a lot. There's an area here that I don't like. There we go. Now the ear clef's going to cover a lot of that, but I want to make sure that this is all smoother inside the ear, because once I put that ear clef in there, imagine my ear, my thumb is the ear clef. It makes it almost impossible to tool the inside of that ear. So I always put that on last. This is the first thing that gets ripped off when you're taking the mold off. When I split that mold in half back this way and this way, it rips from the back of the ear. It takes out this top of the ear, bends this all in, and then what happens is this ear clef gets ripped out because of the hole that's there for the ear, so you can hear. The ear canal that fills up with concrete, and when you're pushing that out, it rips that whole thing apart. That's why I have to do what I do, and carefully. All right, so we're going to go in here, and we're gonna get it pretty smooth. You know, make sure we don't leave any tool marks. That's the thing. We don't want a lot of tool marks. But we don't want any unnatural. Oh, that came out of nowhere. Don't want that in there. All right, now you can see all this in here. See all this yuck. I gotta smooth all that out. And I don't like this. I don't like the way this feels. This doesn't cut real nice. Hold on. Yeah, look how that cuts. See how that cuts? It cuts so nice. Took all that clay off of there with just real light strokes. The ear clef will hide a lot of this. But, you know, it takes just a little bit more patience, and you want to work with it so you're not, it's too big. Oh, find me a tool that can get into that corner. Yeah, there's a huge delay. I'm literally 2 minutes beyond what you're seeing. Maybe a full minute. Give you a second. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that, but that's okay. I guess you had to run away. Guess you had to go away from your computer. Get the crumbs out of here. Yeah, we're getting there. It's starting to shape up now. I got to turn this so I can see it in the light. That ear's already almost done, believe it or not, guys. Might even do the other side since it's done. I got it done so quick. But I'm not done smoothing yet, so we'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to smooth out the inside with naphtha before let's take a look at the back of this thing. Oh yeah. Work got to be done here. It's just basically shaping and smoothing out that has to happen on the back of the ear. I gotta be able to see that behind there now. See, there's a little line back here. I just want to smooth this all out and round it a little bit with my hands. And a little bit of tooling here. I know I'm away from you guys and you can't see what I'm doing, and I'll show it to you in a minute and I'll point out what I did, but I have to I got to be able to see this myself in order to sculpt it. I need the light, need the right light on it, or I can't see the shadows or the bad spots. These glasses are driving me crazy because they keep falling onto my face. Okay. There's a bad spot right here and I have to fix because it's driving me crazy. It's a little divot. It's like a little pocket of air that's underneath of this thing. And it's only going to take a little crumb of clay about the size of a little, I don't even know what size that would be. Perfect. I'm just trying to round it. I think the back of the ears aren't important. Believe me, they are, because when you go to demold, if those back of those ears are too big or too round or not, they're just not shaped right. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just rattling, guys. See, that's what happens. I get concentrating. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, go away. I need you for another day. All right. There's still a little bit more work that has to be done to the ear here on the surface. Just crumbs of clay trying to bring it in. You don't want it lumpy. There's a little spot right in here. All I'm doing is just putting little crumbs of clay in it and working it in. Smoothing it out. Working it in and smoothing it out. Working it in and smoothing it out. Are you back yet, Crusher? Let me see. What do you got? Okay. You're not back yet. It don't take long to fix them. I'm almost to the point where I'm going to smooth it out with naphtha to make it really come together, especially the inside of this ear. I have to really make sure that this inside of this ear is nice and smooth before I put the clef on. Just got to pay attention to detail, guys. That's really the magic between all this. Is just, you really want to make sure your details are on the money. This is all I'm doing is putting back what was there before I demolded this and destroyed it. I'm just trying to bring it back to what it was. And after it's back to where it was, then I'll start aging it and making it look good. Making it look more like the 2018. But I have to bring it back to this original form before I can go on to that. Because I want to be able to replicate my mask with an aged process naturally. There's a lot to fix. The mouth got bent up, the nose, nostril flare outs got a little destroyed, underneath the eye cuts got a little damaged. I don't like these. What brand is this? This is Kemper tools. I'm not a real big fan of these, and it's not because, they're probably good for some people, but I like a tool that cuts away the clay, not just moves it. I want a sharp edge on there. Now I can go get these sharpened, so I can always make this. I'll make them work. I'll get these tools sharpened. As a matter of fact, I'm going to buy one of those little grinders. I think I want to get an electric grinder so I can sharpen my tools, because they really have to be sharp all the time. Now, on the clef right here, right on this edge, that needs to be a little bit more soft. It can't be as jagged as this. It's got to be brought down a little bit, look a little more natural. I shaped that when it was really, really soft. That's why it did what it did. What do I got going on here? Here we go. Now these, believe it or not, the cheap tools, some of them are pretty good because they really do a good job with shaping. The more I work on this, the more you'll start really seeing it come together to really make it look natural. And I want to get rid of all these little bumps and little craters. I don't mind having a little bit of the tool marks in there, because once I get the shape to where it needs to be, then the rest is easy. Because then the naphtha basically smooths it out for you pretty much. Never waste the clay, because this clay costs a lot of money. See, there's this little, you know what, when I'm farting around with that, I got a piece of clay right here. There's a little place where I put that piece of clay here and I kind of pushed it in, but it still left a little bit of a divot right there. So I'm put this, look at this, look how small of a piece that I'm going to put in there. Just a little tiny worm. I'm going to put it right into that nook and smooth that out. Now I made that nice and soft in my hands because I let it warm up. And now blend that in here like that. Won't that look a little better? Somebody's stomach's growling over there. Alright, so up at the top of the ear, there's some damage up there, so I'm going to stick a little piece up there too. Well, this is going to be a little bit bigger. Got to fill the hole where I dug out the mortar was stuck in there. The Ultra Cal 30 was kind of stuck inside the ear. Yeah, this is all about just being, you know, you just got to be, you know, take your time, do it right, don't rush. Rushing never gets nowhere. That's why these sculptures can take up to 12 months to do. You know, to get a really nice, accurate. You got to remember this is a replica of William Shatner's face. It's easy to make your own face of any kind. Doesn't matter who it is or whatever. But when you're trying to duplicate somebody's face or duplicate anything, it ain't easy. It's not an easy task to do. It just takes time, and you have to have a really good eye for detail. Not saying anybody can do it. Not everybody can, but really have to pay attention to the details. And you can see this is still not blending perfectly. All right, we're getting there. Being extra finicky here, I guess, because I just like it nice. All right, now I have a little bit too much in the top of this ear here. And of course, it's the tool that I really don't like because it's not. Doesn't cut nice. I have to apply too much pressure, and sometimes when you put too much pressure on something, you can damage it. So there's all these little. What I like about having these little skid marks, you see that when I demolded that and I separated, the line was right here. What that tells me is when I pushed that mold off, there was a high spot here. So now what I like to do is I bring my one tool in here, and this is a nice tool for this. And I just shave that off. I shave that down so it doesn't happen again. Make it disappear. All right. Now that I made another mess on top of the ear, just push it off there. Just push it off. Don't leave any crumbs on there because it'll when you go to push that down, it'll stick. Just kind of feathering it out. I'm almost to the point. Yeah, I'm starting to feel this. I gotta want that ear round. That's for sure. I don't want it to. Okay. All right. So I got my can of naphtha here, and that's basically lighter fluid. Is all this is. And I never use my fingers with this because this is very dangerous stuff. This can cause cancer big time. So always use a brush. I get myself a little brush like this. It fits in a hole. And as long as you're not touching the stuff, and it really doesn't throw a lot of vapors out, so you're good there. So what I do is I'm going to try and smooth the ear out real good. I'm going to wet it real good in here. Huh. I guess I'm a little low on naphtha. Okay, that's a little better. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm wetting this, and that melts the outer surface of the naphtha. Now I want to get this inner ear blended really nice and smoothed out real nice before I put the ear clef on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like this brush. This brush is giving me... Hold on. Let me pick a better brush here, guys. This might work a little better. I treat my brushes a little bit. Yeah. Believe me, you'll see a big difference in this once I smooth this out a little more. Yeah, the naphtha is works great. It melts the wax in the clay. And what this does is it smooths out the surface really nice. It takes all the high spots off. You know, and it softens that outer layer of clay so you can really smooth it. You know, makes it look very natural. Spot right in here I'm not digging, so I just kind of just work it in. Now I'm going to clean this brush. You know what? I'm going to use a new can of naphtha because I think this is down so far that I can't get the brush, I can't clean the brush well enough. So I'm going to pop open another can of naphtha. And that's nothing but, let me just pry that open right here. Boom, pop, pop a doodle. All right, and we just stick that in there and just kind of slosh that around. Clean, look how nice and clean that brush is now. Now we're going to get the back of the ear real good. But I have to turn this on its side so I can see it. But I definitely want to make sure that the inside of this ear is nice and smooth and round. You know, flesh-like. You want it to be, you want it to look natural. Ears are not perfect. Even like the outer rim of the ear, it's not perfect. Our bodies aren't perfect. They're not perfectly in every, that's what gives us, that's who makes you who you are. It's all those little imperfections shape your face and give you your character on who, you know, how your face really looks compared to somebody else's. You know, so don't try to make a perfect ear every time. What I'm trying to do is bring it back to, and I'm going to show you that in a second. As soon as I get this, I'm changing the light so I can make sure that I have the Crusher. You back yet? Who else is on with me? Anybody? I don't even know how many people are on today. Okay. We're going to let that harden up just a little bit, and I'll work on the back of the ear. I think that's in camera frame. I hope it is. Clean that brush real good. And, yeah. Now see, that's going to soften that nicely. All right, that's a little too soft. Okay, so I got to let that harden up for a little bit. Let that harden up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is blow on it to dry it, and then I'm going to clean the brush real good. Like I'm doing right here, I'm cleaning that brush real good. And then I'm going to dry off the brush on my wood countertop, and then I can work the clay a little better. And since I have everything shaped back the way I want it, I don't know about this back here. Right here is driving me crazy, right in this area here. I don't know. I guess it looks okay. You're not going to see this because hair gets put on the mask right there, so you're not going to see that little, and it's not really, it's just this little dent there is all it is, which I don't really care about. That's not within vision of our sculpture. All right, so now that it's nice and soft, I'm going to take my texturizing how did that get tangled up in there? Okay, it's out. What happened to my... Now, see, I know somebody's been in here because my sponges are missing. I found one sponge on the floor here, but that's not the sponge I use because I have to clean them. And there's all kinds of hair and stuff on there. I definitely don't want to use this without cleaning it. Okay, so what I'm going to do to clean this is pick at it. See, I got a sponge here, and I'm going to texture the. Yeah, I see a high spot on the top of the ear. I got to fix that first. That's got to soak in naphtha to clean it. All right, let me do this real quick though. All right. That looks a lot better. Now what I'm going to do, find a clean spot on this thing, and I'm going to texture it. see, I just messed up this little spot. With my fingernail, trying to get a clean spot on this thing. Now I'm going to put the clef on as soon as I get this inside of here. Okay, time for the little clef. Now I want to warm this up in my fingers for a few seconds, this stuff here. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. Not very hard. Not very hard to do. And that will probably complete my first ear. Doesn't take long to fix these. It really doesn't. All right, so first I'm letting it warm up in my fingers just a little bit more. I want it really soft so I can really shape this thing nice. Now, where this goes back into the face, I want to blend that really nice. So I'm creating a little wedge, and this goes into the face right in here. It blends back in, so I want to make sure I'm trying to do most of the sculpting with my fingers right now, just to shape it really nice. All right, and let me see what this looks like. No, it looks too fake that way. All right, so this has to be pitched out just a little bit more. Same with this end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece like this and I'm just going to pull on it. Right on the edges. Now why that does it, to really sharpen that edge. And it's important because when I shape this, you'll see. Just a little bit. This thing's a little bigger than I want it to be. I have to bring that down to here. Taking more clay away. Always take it away from the side where it sticks to the face. And I'm just taking it away. I'm just going to stick it in place there. Now that doesn't look like the original to me. That's far from the original. So I have to keep taking away. I just stuck it on there just to, there's a hair in there. yeah, I'm getting there. All right, let's see what we got here. See, I had to bring this up to about here. And then this comes down. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. That's almost perfect. That is almost perfect. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start shaping this and pushing it in where it needs to be. And blend that into that ear. Alright, and then this into the face. See what I'm saying, guys? Give me a second. I got my hands in the way, I know. Alright, now I can bend that out a little bit. I call this the ear clef. Alright, now I have to fix that because that is definitely too thick in this area and too what's the right word? If I can think of it right now. Oh, I see what I got to do. Okay. All right, so we're going to push this a little more narrow in here, a little more narrow in there. There we go. And by pushing that in, it's giving me this nice edge, ridge. It's giving me a nice ridge. I pushed on this like this, on the outer side. And it's giving me a nice ridge that should follow up right into this ear here. Alright, I'm just going to add a little piece of clay in there to give me that little bit of a ridge that follows the sculpture. There you go. Just blend it in. By no means, I'm no expert at this, guys. Okay, let me see where you're at. Is that Crusher again, or is that somebody else? I have to read it. I don't have my glasses on. Give me a minute, guys. I want to make sure I blend this right. Before I start tooling this and smoothing it out and all that fun stuff. Getting there, guys. Getting there. We're almost there. Alright, so I need a little bit of shaping in here. I'm going to take that out of there. And I'm going to come in from the back side where this is got little imperfections here. And then I'm going to try and, you know what, I need the other tool. What do I do with it? There it is. No, that ain't it. Laid it down. That ain't it. Where did you go? Where did you go? There's my favorite tool right there. Believe it or not, guys, I use this tool so much. I don't know why. I'm just hooked on this one size when it comes to blending everything back in. Just got to get the hard lumps out of there. And then once I All right, let me read your comment real quick. Pipe Master, what's up, brother? Yo, I'm on. Yeah, I'm retooling the sculpture, bringing it back to what it was, only to age it to look like the 2018. So that's where we're at today. And right now, I'm just doing an ear. I'm just doing this ear. I'm going to stick with just doing this. I was going to jump to the other side today, but you know what? I don't need to. I do this ear. You guys get a general idea of how I fix the ear. I'll do this whole tutorial. Well, tutorial. I don't know what you want to call this. Is it a tutorial? It's live. I'm just taking out some of the. Yeah, I'll be bringing this back up to the 2018. I'll make it into this guy right here. Well, you'll see it on the chin. This is the 2018 mask. I actually have the Trick or Treat Studios, so I'm going to really mimic all the scratches and the cuts and all the little details that are in this. I'm going to put it into my sculpture. So that should be pretty cool. But I needed to bring the ear back to where it was originally. And I'm really close. I'm really close to almost exactly what it was. It's not going to be perfect, but then again, don't need to be perfect. And I'll tell you why it doesn't need to be perfect. Because remember, this is aging 40 years into the future. So the ear doesn't have to be exactly the way we left off, but it's real close. It's going to be so close, you're not going to be able to tell. The average person I'll know because I've sculpted the original, so I know exactly what I did. And I think I'm changing it just a little bit on purpose, too, because, you know, that just gives it that unique, its own look. I don't want it to look too, you know, just these little tiny subtle changes are okay. You have to remember that when you're doing your sculptures. I'm taking out the lumps here. I don't want any lumps. Trying to blend that into the face nicely, this ear clef. And I may have to fold that ear clef in a little bit further too, because it kind of looks like it's bulging out a little too much. Oh, what's it say? We can talk. What's up, buddy Jim? I know who you are. I got your. I'm used to the Pipe Master, so you don't have to identify yourself anymore. I know who you are. So yeah, I'm going at it here. I'm retooling and fixing the sculpture. I'm fixing the sculpture, and I can't do this with my glasses. That's the thing. My glasses, I can see the screen far away, but I can't see the sculpture if I have my glasses on. Sucks to get old. It really does. You guys are all young pups compared to me. But never be scared. Always try things. Always want to try and reach out. You know, try to never be afraid to try something. You may be a good old artist yourself. You know, guys never know. You know, you have to have to try in order to know. Let me see, there's just a little bit of a shaping problem here I'm having. There we go. I love it when a plan comes together. Just knowing what you got to do is the main thing to make that ear look good. Now I see a little shadowing in here, and I want to try and straighten that out. And I call this my spoon tool. And I'm just blending that in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another cleft there. Let me see how this is looking. Does this look like it's sticking too far out? No, that's pretty much it. Let me try to push that in just a little bit. I don't know, that cleft looks like it just feels a little too big. I'll figure it out in a second here. I know what I got to do. Okay. So we're going to go into this little corner here. We're going to round this out a little bit more. Oops. Soft spot. Don't want to hit them soft spots. What I'm doing is I'm creating a ridge here by pushing on the back side of this a little bit. I'm letting the clay do some of the work for me instead of trying to shape everything. You know, it's almost like that gravity gravity and aging. Use it to your advantage. Think about what you're trying to create, and then think about our aging process, and also think about gravity. What happens to our flesh when gravity gets into our aging process? It sags. And that's why we have these unnatural, and that spoon's too big to get into this little corner. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take some out of here this way. Just not enough definition in this corner here. A little better. Yeah, that'll just a little bit. We're talking crumbs of clay, guys. So I'm saying, whenever you're doing this stuff, you're using very little pieces of clay. A little piece here or there can completely change the way this thing looks. And a lot of people don't get that until they see you doing it. Then they go, oh my God, I didn't realize. You know, I'm like, oh, just that little bit just completely changed the way that inner ear looked right in here. You know, it blended it better. It gave it more definition. It was bleeding into it. I needed to cut it in. I know I'm being anal, if you want to call it that. But, you know, if you want to just throw it together, then go for it. I'm not that guy. I like to really spend the time and do it right. I don't care if I have to do 2 separate videos to do the ears. That's not the goal here. The goal is to get it right. And I do not like the way this is shaping up right in here. Okay, that's what I needed to do. Okay. See, what I needed to do in that corner there was dig into it a little bit. Maybe not. I just made a mistake, I think. Nah, not really. Because I'm going to take a little of this edge off anyway. Yeah, I told you I was going to get into. Okay, hold on. Read your comment. Yeah, it's back to where it was. You know, the ear's back to where it was. I'm going to give you better shots of it as soon as I get done with the sculpting of it. I want to. Well, I wish I could lower this thing so it's more straight on, so you can see it. I could lower it, but I'd have a lot. I don't want to. I got to completely readjust where I'm sitting and everything to do that. Okay, so I need this particular tool to create this cleft right in here. But I want to cut. Okay. I think I may have it here. We're going to see in a second. Get on the right angle here. Human anatomy. Study it. If you're going to do this kind of thing, learn what the human anatomy. I don't actually have to look at anything. I know what an ear looks like in my head, but that just takes time. But I'm looking at my original sculpture over here with the master copy, just making sure the proportions are the right size. I already know what I need to do to it to make it look like it was. But then again, you know, I worked on it for months, so I really know every kind of detail that I did to it. And I'm only like I said, you're moving around crumbs of clay, and anybody that does this, they can tell you that's exactly what we do. Now, like an idiot, I just cut into the ear. That's okay. All right. That's what naps is for. To get out those little scratch marks that are in there. And plus, the clay's still a little soft, so I can shape this and see what we got here. And I don't like the way this particular piece looks. I need it to be a little more round. I'm smoothing that out with my finger. To make it look more natural. Get those little ridges out of there. Okay, let's see what we look like when we nap to this, and then I'll kind of change the angle of the sculpture so I can see whether or not I have any imperfections. Smooth it out even better. Yeah, remember, I'm trying to make it look more human-like, real, not, you know. Yeah, it looks pretty good, guys. I think we're right on the money here. Now there's a high spot. I can see it right in here. But what I'm going to do is take it down a little. And I'm going to use this tool here, and I'm just going to hit that spot. That's tough because the clay's real soft right now. Okay, that's good enough. And now, let me try it again with the brush and naphtha, only this time, because it's already soft, I want to make sure that the brush is completely cleaned and dry. Alright, almost dry. See, I never try to touch this naphtha at all. I don't like touching that naphtha. Perfect. I got those scratches out that were in the back here. All right, we're back to where we were, guys. This is a done deal. This ear is done, and what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to do the other ear in another tutorial, but maybe I won't even do that one. You know, I mean, you see what I have to do. You've seen the process. There's no sense in showing you the other ear. I think this is the difficult ear anyway. This was the more difficult ear because it had more of a bulge right in the center here. I wanted to make sure that I still maintained that and brought it back to where it should have been. All right, so now I'm going to take the camera, off of here and give you a really good view of what I've done. Clean this brush real good. I think I've been on here for about like an hour maybe, sculpting this, bringing it back to where it needs to be. Now I can still see a couple spots that I need to do. I gotta really pull out some tools here. Oh, where's that loop? Here it is, right here. Some high spots I can see. And I don't want no high spots. I took that down. Now I'll throw a little texture on it. And then I'm going to give you guys a real good peek at everything at, same level where I'm at. You always have to texture it, and I'll tell you why. Texturing is so the paint has something to grab to once you make your mold. Your mold, believe it or not, especially if you're using Ultra Cal 30, will pick up all these little imperfections. It'll pick up every little detail, every little, uh, uh, texture. It picks up the texture and everything. So when you go to make uh, your mask will have a texture on the mask. This way, it'll grab the paint will stick to it really nice. If it's real smooth, your paint's not going to want to stick to it real good. So it's real bad when you get into the shadowing areas and stuff like that. I'll be retexturing this entire thing once I get to the finish line with it. I won't do any texturing really with it until I get to the finish line. I mainly did the texturing on the ear to show you on the video, but also to make sure that I had it all done on the inside of the ear here, because my finger, as you can see, can barely fit in there, and I don't want to damage it trying to texture the inside of that. I did it prior to. So, and as a matter of fact, I did wipe out the texture in there, so I can just kind of stick that in. That's another way you can do it. Just bunch it up. And then stick it in there like that. You don't need a lot of texture. You just need some. All right, so let me take this off the camera, and I can show you this ear in a close-up. Okay, now here's the old ear. Now see, it's got some bad spots in it. I have to fix that urethane. See up on the top of the ear, there's little holes and stuff, and down here on the bottom. But that's how it was right there. See, I brought it back to exactly where that was. Maybe a little better on this, I think. I think the ear clefs looks a little better. A little bit of a high spot here and a low spot, high and low spot right in there. That's nothing. I can smooth that out. But I'll get all those little tiny details. Now this ear's fixed. And I mean, if you saw this at the beginning of the video, this ear was a mess. So, you know what? I'll flip it around and I'll show you the other ear just to show you how much of a mess it was. Pretty much the same condition this ear is. That was the condition of the other. See what happens? The ear hole, hardens, and then it rips that ear clef right off. The whole section here gets ripped off. I'm going to have to reshape this. I'll do it the same way. And I only use this guy for reference. I don't really use... I only use it for size and making sure that the shape stays the same. See how this whole front got ripped off here, and the back of the ear got ripped off. I'm going to put the seam line just a little bit different on that. But then I've got the nose to do. There's a ton to work. There's a lot of work that still has to be done to this, but not a lot. I mean, I'm gonna have this. You saw that. What did I do the video in like 90 minutes, hour and a half? Hour and a half to put the ear back to where it was, 90 minutes compared to 12 months of shaping this. That's a lot of work. I'm pinching this to shrink out. So the nose has to be repaired, no big deal. The lips have to be repaired, no big deal. And the ears have to be repaired. And underneath these eye cuts, when this mold dropped down, it ripped out. Like right in these areas here. There's another area here. Let me see if I can, see how that got damaged in here? But that's nothing to fix. That's simple stuff. That's why I find it's so important to use Monster Clay hard, because you don't lose the integrity of the sculpture itself. You'll have a little bit of damage, but nothing you can't fix in no time at all. And you bring it right back to where it was. So that's where we are, and I should be painting the masks this week, and I'm just wait. The color of the mask aren't quite right yet. I can tell that they're not cured yet. They have to be a little bit more tan for me to start painting them. I want to make sure that they're shrunk up as much as possible. But I fixed the ear. If you watch this video from the very beginning, you will see the whole process of fixing the ear, bringing it back to where it was. And that's the original ear, you know. You see, the best way to look at this, I'll tell you what, let me turn this so you're seeing it from the same angle. All right, you see that ear? All right, see that ear? See how close? See how close they look as far as in comparison? Now you got to remember these are sitting on a different angle compared to, but they're pretty close. They are pretty close. Brought it back to health. So, and you got to remember the camera. Once again, I drop back 6 feet. You won't have all this drawn out look. This face looks a lot more narrow because of the camera lens. These are the 4K lenses, so it really draws out that. If I'm 6 feet away, you see the actual size and shape of the sculpture. But we've been on for 97 and a half minutes, and I want to thank everybody for joining me on this tutorial on how to retool and fix and repair your sculpture. And I'll show you the whole process. I'll do the eyes on the next tutorial and the nose. I'll do the other ear without being on film because you already saw the one ear. You pretty much know what it is. And then I'll do the nose and the eyes and the lips, depending on how much I can get done. I think the nose is going to be a quick repair. That's not going to be long. So maybe I'll do the nose and the eyes all in one tutorial, and then I'll do the lips last, because the lip, that has to be right. That can be a difficult sculpture to get exact, because there's a lot of damage on this. This literally got raked right down. So I literally have to re-sculpt this whole thing here. I want to try to make it exactly the way I did over there. The nice thing is the top lip did not get damaged at all. Nothing got damaged in here, which is good because that gives me my lines. I don't need anything else but the lines. Anyway, I'm going to say good day, everybody. And today it's getting ready to rain out there. It's real damp and, cloudy and breezy. You can just feel the dampness in the air. There's no way if I painted out there, the paint would never dry. I've done that before. What a mistake that was. But I'm going to jump off of here. So peace. Remember to hit the like, subscribe. Please hit that like button. YouTube loves the like button for some reason more than anything else. Subscribe, and if you're when you are a subscriber, if you don't have that notification bell on, you won't get notified when I'm on. So please hit the notification bell and send out this information to your friends. Let them know what I'm doing, and even if they're not in the art field, other than just like watching YouTubes. Hopefully you guys enjoy what I'm doing, and I hope I'm helping you, some of you that are in this field, that are doing the arts. And I got some surprises coming up. I figured out the hair. We got some really cool hair that's going to be put on these masks. Really cool. So yes, there will be mohair in it. So I am not wavering from that. I thought about it and I kept flip-flopping around, but I finally found the proper mix, and I have to make the mix, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually waiting on this other hair to show up. Once it shows up, I'll know if I can use that in my blends. If that's going to be the hair that I'm going to be using, it's going to be a home run. It's going to be a home run. It's going to look very realistic, the hair. I can't wait. And it even has that sheen to it like natural hair does. So it'll be a combination of mohair and this other hair that I discovered. So, and that one, I think I may keep that one a secret, only because I'm probably going to sell that blend on my website. If somebody wants to buy the hair from me, already blended, and they just, they can put it on their mask, that's what I'm going to do. So that's the plan, but I only want to do it if it's perfect. You know me, I'm a perfectionist, so I want to make sure that the blend is really nice, the colors are really on the money, and there's going to be the two different hair colors. There's going to be the original Halloween 2 1981, which is a very blondish looking hair, brownish blonde, and then you have the original 78 color. So that's what I'm doing. So the hair's basically solved. I figured out the scheme of what I'm going to use, and I just have to wait on this particular hair to come to see exactly how that's going to lay out and how it's going to look. But I already colored the hair too. That's already done, and I'll show you that on the next tutorial. But peace, guys, and thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. Thank everybody on there. And Crusher, have a great day. Who else is on here? Jim, also, I want to say shout out to Jim, Pipe Master 84. Thanks for tuning in and watching. And yeah, I'm going to build this channel one way or the other. I just have to get better at editing. So, peace. All right, I'm out of here. Have a great day. Have a great rest of the week and have a wonderful weekend. Peace. See ya.